So timestamp should exist. I'm also going to sound different, but the reason I wanted to note this is what you see on screen here is because I for some reason just realized that you can run into the same elite twice in a row. And you'll see the difference here. One has a little bit more HP, and it might do a little bit more damage, but this is where I stop. But we're going to be doing another Ironclad run, because I like Ironclad, and we're just going to really try to push the Ascension. I shouldn't really get greedy for elites. I think a lot of my losses have been due to trying to force elites, basically. So, let's see here. And you'll notice that my sound sometimes cuts off. I'm testing something out through OBS. Otherwise, I'm going to transform a card. All right, let's find out what happens to me. I'm going to do a defend, actually. I usually do strike for Ironclad. We get dominate, which is interesting, but I guess we're going to try to play with the vulnerability. That's a start, by the way. Have I ever seen a one-branch start? Well, hey, I guess we'll be doing this then. And so now because, and we're also fighting the Matriarch, so prepare our actions, but because I can run to the same elite, I do need to keep that in mind, whether I want to go for controlled damage, like the elite I just showed you, or if I want to go for AoE, in which, if I run into the Gardeners here, boy oh boy. But that's essentially the large part of me learning at the moment. It's finding out whether just a bunch of attacks this turn, I guess. But it's deciding whether or not I just have to go for it. Might as well just stick with the base kit. Go for AoEs or not, and then decide what I want to build my deck for, assuming we get to Acts 2 and then Act 3 as well. So, we'll do our best. I don't want to take 14 damage, but we got hit by Frail, so maybe I shouldn't have. Well, if I get 3 strikes, everything's fine. Well, 2 strikes, sorry. Vulnerability damage. Taunt, Thunderclap, Ashen Strike. The problem with the Gardeners and using Thunderclap is that you apply vulnerability and then they block. So, aside from other AoE encounters, which there's more than a few, yeah, I guess we'll take Taunt. We're building into vulnerability. Let's try it out, and let's hope we don't get punished by running into an elite that we... mainly ones with Artifact. The important one was the Mecha. Is the Mech, I think, in Act 2? But, hey, and we don't have a single block, so I guess we will dominate this turn. But yeah, still figuring out what to do in Slay the Spire in terms of how I want to stably play. Obviously, if I take the time. The way with my gameplay is that I usually like to go a bit faster, but that does mean that I don't stop to think, and even oftentimes I do make mistakes. Exhaust pile. We don't have exhaust yet, do we? We didn't get it. Yeah, it's just blocking lots of taunts. I don't really mind. Taunt will fit with me being able to do strikes at the moment, but yeah, I know. It'll stop me from having to go bash or defend or bash and strike, but let's see what we do here. I think just strike, defend for the moment. Is this another I feel like I just fought this encounter, but hey, we'll deal. In fact, will this make a difference? I'm just going to strike for the moment. I'm actually going to taunt and then just grab the block instead. I'm going to lose damage for that, but I think it's fine. It's kind of less fine, but we'll deal. Yeah, taunt allows me to block and throw on attacks for less energy. That's why I like doing it. Same thing with the stomp. Early game stomp. Grab stomp, strike 3 times, and get a free stomp on it. That's AoE, but again, that's a whole other strategy to deal with. I think it does change the deck somewhat if you don't mind bloating your deck up. So, exhaust hand, draw 10 cards. Well, whenever you add a card that gains block to your deck, enchant it with Nimble. I don't know. Maybe these are better. Oh, goodness, OBS, please. I know I'm using a noise suppressor, but yeah, I don't know. Changes in 2 or 3, they can make the difference. I've seen it moments where I'm off by like a few damage or few HP here and there, but it's not like a majority of the time, which is preferably what I think of when I think of actual changes or upgrades or whatnot. Regrab dominate. You know what? And this does get exhausted. Never mind. It exhausts itself, but now it doesn't, so could skip this elite. Do I want to? No, let's go into it. Let's see who we run into. We run into the Terror Eel, and so it's all about the damage here. In fact, we want to ramp up ourselves, but I guess we find out. I can exhaust this hand. Do I want to? Why would I do so? Well, colorless potion instead. Rolling Boulder at turn 1. We're going to be in here for at least 4 turns, so 3 energy for 15, 30, 50 damage. Or Thrumming Hatchet, but the cost is as it is. You know what? Funny enough, we're going to use Mayhem. We'll block for now. Let's hope that in the next turn or two, or the next turn after this one, we can push this Terror Eel to stun. Doesn't look like it. I have to do 47 damage, and that's not looking likely. We're gonna redraw. We exhaust 4 strikes on a defend, but we should have more than enough attacks, question mark? Do we not? Oh, all we have is 1 strike left. Whoops. Unless I use Dominate here, but still, oh, Setup Strike as well. But it's still not enough. Yeah, it's still not enough. Well, I guess we're gonna find out what happens to us. We got Strike and then another Bash. Might as well. No, we can taunt again. I just realized I'm exhausting. I wonder, I haven't seen what happens yet. I mean, I know what happens in Slay the Spire 1, but I think you do get a card if you accidentally, if you exhaust all your cards and therefore have nothing in your deck. Which is kind of what's happening to me now. So, yeah. I think we get out. Do we get out? Yeah, we get out. Okay, good. I need to figure out how I want to do that fight. Fiendfire, we want to exhaust things at some point while throwing on Invuln, but for the moment. Double taunt setup? No, taunt then setup strike. Let's just stick with what we've got for the moment. So we can spread out the damage. AoE would have been nice here. This is a prime example of strike, 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 stomp, but that's not what happened. So instead, we give the damage to something else for the moment, and we don't have vulnerability. I do have an explosive ampule, but let's see what we do. Well, alright. I guess we do explosive ampule, so we can get rid and put the last one on stunlock. If we're not out, we can run taunts. Yeah, we can run taunts. We don't get anything else, but at least we don't take damage. And then just strike our way out. Just do anything, really. Dismantle. We are running Vuln. Do I want to run more? I guess I will. Let's heal. I don't feel confident. I'm planning to take another elite. Let's heal. Planning to take another elite. And let's grab a little relic while we're at it. Whenever you rest, gain 15 HP. Well, that was ill-timed order of rest into relic. We don't have a single thingamajiggy, so that's not cool, but we can do what we can do. And yeah, immediately get rid of 1, and now we have to deal with Ritual. But after 2 turns, we should be okay. Could also choose the Fiendfire here. Yeah, you know what? Brum, brum, brum. Take 1 HP, and we should be out. I should have looked at my... Something I often don't do as well is look at what cards I'm about to draw if I have less than the amount I'm going to draw next turn. So if I have 4 cards left in my deck and I'm going to draw 5, would probably behoove me to plan and look at my next hand before doing it. Here are the Gardeners, by the way. So, we don't have anything I could preferably use. We can taunt Dismantle, but the problem is that we still don't get rid of 1. Let me drink this. What is this? Speed? Nope, we're not. We've already used our block. Yeah, but it's free, so I'll do that. Let it be a strike or defend, please. Now, I should have gotten rid of 1 that's attacking me, but might as well get rid of the one that's doing strength, because I don't know if I'll be able to get rid of another Gardener this turn, which doesn't seem to be the case, so... Setup strike, Molten Fist, attack, and that should be the end of that Gardener. And hopefully one of these 2 upgrades itself, so I don't have to deal with as much damage. This should be enough here. We can apply Vuln for next turn. Take 3 damage, be on our way. Or maybe block 2. Maybe a Fiendfire would be better suited here. No. Dominate, defend? Yeah, dominate, defend. Now, we still have a problem on our hands, but for the moment... Oh. That makes me quite sad. Yeah, this is getting me... Oh, I messed up. a little bit. It's fine. Take 9 damage. And set up strike, defend, attack. And next turn, hope we draw 2 good attack cards or 3 strikes. Either one will do. Okay, dismantle will also do. Permafrost. First time you play power, gain 6 block, of which I don't think I have a single power card. Maybe 1, but not more than that. Yeah, I'm just gonna rest again. I might as well make use of this HP. You could upgrade if you so choose, but in this particular instance, when we don't have any blocks, yeah. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. And then we're getting dazed as well, but that's what our exhausts are for, hopefully. They haven't appeared yet, but they will soon. So bash, actually bloodletting, setup, dominate, defend. We effectively, I think we do take less damage if I do that, right? Was I using my math correctly? Well, too late now. That's a turn to get, but we're out in 2 turns max due to the damage limit. Da-ba-da. We can only defend once anyway. I guess I might as well get my values worth. Yeah, because nothing else is happening this turn. We can't deal any more damage. Ow! And then bash and get out. I was about to use dominate for some reason. There was no reason to do that. Rage. And off we go. So I did play another Ironclad run also earlier today, and I pretty much oofed myself because I think I exhausted everything I needed to do, and all I had left were burns, specifically. Can we one-shot this? 5, so 11, 33, 48. 48, 13, 61. Oh, we're barely off. I'm pretty sure we're barely off. As I do this, 13, 50, 50, 16, 16, 16. Yeah, we're barely off. We can't block anyway, but the point is that I don't need to use my flex potion. Still want to use bloodletting, but yeah. Unless my math was wrong, but that's something to think about later. Dismantle, or dominate, dismantle, A. Or Fiendfire, either one, but... Crimson Mantle, gain 8 block for 1 HP, so effectively 7 HP per turn. Unless there's a turn in which we don't block, but that's a small price to pay, I guess. Or draw cards, but let's finally grab our first power card. That's a rare, but... yeah, Matriarch, so we do want to set up. Probably Mantle? Bloodletting would be nice, but we'll take Mantle instead. That'll be its worth itself, hopefully, unless I don't draw it on my first turn, but yeah. Taunt, Molten shouldn't wake it up. Oh, it will wake it up. So we'll dominate first. And let's actually hope. I wanted to use Molten Fist, but I don't remember if this Matriarch gets anything from waking up naturally, but I mean, I guess we can wake it up now. Man, Crimson Mantle came so far away. Fine, so be it. We don't need to block here, but we're still going to rage. And there's finally Crimson Mantle. Taunt, dismantle. And we'll wait for another bloodletting turn before we... Never mind. I guess we get nothing. So we'll burn the flex potion now. Burn bloodletting, eh? Yeah. I think I have a lot of strikes and stuff, but we'll see what happens to myself. Because it is going to slowly scale. So, punch, dominate, dismantle. We should have enough HP to heal to full because of the ascension effects. Never mind, because we are now... well, 6... No way we don't do 6 damage, right? Okay, I was about to say. Get me out of here. And something else. Whenever you gain block, deal 5 damage. No. Fiendfire, no. I might just take another Fiendfire, considering that we run into enemies that could give us status effects. So, hey. The Entomancer notwithstanding. Elite. 2 elites maximum? Really? On an ascension where we get more elites? Well, I guess That's fine. We'll go right up the middle then. Hey, Ouroboros. Ouroboros? Yeah, Ouroboros. So, 2 common cards, 2 uncommon, 1 rare. Bloat my deck. 1 luminescence. Gain energy. On demand. Transform bash into break. You know what? We're playing with vulnerability. We have the power. Up the middle we go. Haven't been able to watch anyone else really play Slave Spire 2, but we'll deal. Let's see here. We have a vulnerable. Will it make a difference? I might as well Molten Fist first then. So where are we getting there first? Oh, yeah, power each combat gets 6 block, which is, I mean, I guess to my advantage because I like burning power cards first, so... Otherwise, 13 immediately without dismantle. You know what? Actually... Yeah, dismantle first, and then Fiend Fire. Let's see if the damage was worth it. Yeah, it's definitely worth it. Now, burning through 32 is another story, but I guess we'll find out. 22 damage, setup strike, question mark? I was about to say. I did mess that up, by the way. Another dismantle. Is my deck getting a bit too big? We do have exhaust, but we can't... It's not like we can use that on the same turn we use Fiend Fire. Unless we get a Cascade, I guess. So you know what? Dismantle it is. Now, that's me hoping for Cascade, but there are other good effects that I can use along with that. So, yeah. Rage, and all we have are things. Actually, Molten Fist. Then do everything else. You took Rage from me, but I shouldn't need it this turn, especially if you go all out like this. Oh my goodness, 24 damage-ish on demand. Infernal Blade, Dismantle again, Hemokinesis. Could go RNG in case we run into an AoE encounter. Do we have anything for AoE? I don't think we do we? No, we don't. So we'll skip out on this one for now. I'm also thinking about the ratio. Yeah, here's the AoE encounter, by the way. But do I just go for it here? 1, 2, and I could throw a potion to get rid of this. I should have actually thrown it at something else, but it's fine. Probably shouldn't have used the potion there, but it's too late. So, you got 2 strength. We'll actually focus the one that's getting strength now. Bloodletting, 1, 2, 3, 4, 28. Perfectly. You know what? Yeah. Get rid of the one that's powering itself up. Then we can focus the one in the middle, because the one that hasn't gotten strength yet is powering itself up. And Break not really doing much for me here, but we can still dismantle into it. In fact, we can defeat the enemy like that, so... and then Fiend Fire, that should be more than enough. 4 times 7, what is math? Enhanced Bloodletting. Considering I have a lot of high-cost cards, maybe I want to think about that. But I'm not drawing cards either. No, we'll take the Bloodletting. Okay, so we have to be on the lookout for cards that help me draw, or another way to add Vuln, or an AoE card, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, that's probably the better pick. So, Setup Strike, and I think we're just going to go all out here and see what happens to me. So you give me Toxic, the other one gives me, I don't know what it gave me. And Crimson Mantle, question mark, at the start of the turn, so it's not going to help me immediately, but it will still be helpful, I think. We don't have Vuln, so all we can do is Multi-Fist and block. Yeah, this will give me more defense against the Toxics. We take damage for it, but... Hey. So, Fiend Fire gets rid of all the Toxics, but let's get rid of anything else first. We have 2 Fiend Fires, by the way. That's interesting. But we need 4 cards in our hand, including Fiend Fire, 2 Toxics. So I can use anything else, including Bloodletting. Just because I don't want to... you know what? Nah, let's do that. So, we'll dismantle the other one. We can taunt the other one as well, and then we have to Bloodlet. I just realized. Whoopsie doopsie. I made a mistake. It's fine. We're not being toxic anymore, so we shouldn't need to worry as much. We will still break on the left one, but afterward, I forgot to rage. I'm going absolutely insane, but at least we have enough block. It can also dominate if the game lets me, but no, it does not. So we just break again, and yeah, we should get out. You put on Toxic, but yeah, we should get out. Unless I exhausted dominate. I don't even remember. Here's a draw. Technically, it's a draw card, and how many skill cards do I actually have? I don't know. Add Decay, obtain Lost Wisp whenever you play Power, gain 8 damage. Otherwise, take 2 damage. I think we can afford that. We're the Ironclad. We have the Scorching Heart. 38 HP. What elite enter? Here he is. Yeah, so as I just said, the Entomancer. We get dazed for our trouble, but that's what the Fiend Fire's for, so I don't really mind as much. So, dominate. Should have actually touched Insanity'd my break, but this is still better for us, I think. I really hope I get dominate soon, though, because otherwise we're going to take too much damage. Nope, the answer is no. Well, we still do what we can. We can't bloodlet because we are going to run out of HP when we do that. And the question now is, hey, Fiendfire. And off we go. I don't have any more HP, which makes me a little sad. Juggling something. Spite as well. Yeah, Spite. Let's draw some more cards. I would have taken Thrash there. I probably should have taken Thrash, but I already made my decision. I should have taken Thrash, actually, now that I think about it, but meh. Do I have enough HP to survive another... Technically, if I go up the middle here, let's find out. Hey, what relic is this? I think, based on how I worked with seeds, I don't remember if if the game loads relics based on the next one you'll get, or if it is different. Like, each one of these treasure chests are different, but meh. The soul, no, it's not soul, Infested Prism. Break, Molten... Duplicator, actually. And then Molten Fist. So now we get a whole bunch of strength for this. Could Fiend Fire away this decay, but I'm just going to be a little bit confident for the moment. And now, here comes the let's taunt first, then dominate. We can bloodlet as well and deal a whole bunch of damage. So yeah, I think this actually... Oh, it's almost dead. Do I dare? No, no reason to. We took 6 damage from it, but... Unless I have a big problem on my hands, which we shouldn't, then yeah, I shouldn't really need to worry. Feed, Cinder, Second Wind. That's for statuses. Okay, so we have enough for status bosses. I don't know what philosophy I want to go with. If keeping a very focused deck is better, because it's not like there's an enemy that hard counters. There are, I think there may be like 1 or 2, but aside from that, you can avoid elites too in that instance. Well, I guess I'll think about it. The Gambit, no. The Bomb for AoE. I think we have enough AoE. More potions. Exhaust. First time a skill gets exhausted, add a copy, which I think I have a few. Right? Do I not? I'm going crazy then. Alright, cool. Second Wind, in case we need another one, I guess. But that's really the only skill. It would be helpful, but if you're in an encounter so long that you need a second copy of an exhaust skill, and particularly Second Wind to get rid of, say, burns or wounds, or any other card that you don't like, then I guess, I don't know. You want strength? No. Probably Brand, actually. Brand belt, and get rid of this. We can actually remove decay. And if I want to be cool, I can grab a Swift Potion. I'll also grab a Vulnerability Potion. You know what? Why not? Give ourselves more odds. Better to have something now, not need it later, than to need it and be very sad. Could have actually taken a lead, but granted, fun times ahead. So, let's start. So, we don't have any block. What do I really want to do this turn? I know I'm going to Metamorphosis, so you know what? We will Gambler's Brew and Strike get rid of our strikes. Unfortunately, we didn't get much else, but we can at least Rage. Metamorphosis and a Molten Fist for the moment. We don't get a lot of block for it, but... Should I have used... no, it's fine, I think. Howl from Beyond. Only if we exhaust it can we do a thing, which we can with Fiendfire, so you know what? Let's get rid of this Silk Bullbug. That gets rid of my Dominate, so that gets rid of my huge Scaler, but maybe it's fine. I'm going to draw 3 cards as well. Alright, we're going to defend. We're not going to be able to defend against everything, but it's fine for the moment. So, let's see here. I could break something else. Do I want to do that, though? It's not like I have the thingy anymore, I guess, so... Yeah, you know what? We're going to break the Beetle. But then... we'll taunt the Rock Bullbug. Oh, it barely hit me still. I didn't get to stun it. That makes me sad. Well, dismantle. Oh, I should have set up Struck first. Mantle, set up Strike. So I should have done... Oh, going crazy. No, I gotta slow down. Thunderclap, Pommel Strike, Body Slam. Nope. We'll move on. Fiendfire is removed. Randomize. Second Wind is removed. Defend. Okay. I hate bridges. I was gonna say a thing, but hey, oh no, Smith, we need a rest for the Insatiable. The Insatiable likes to slap us while we're trying to run away from it, so we'll obey it for the moment. Then Second Wind, Insatiable, Dismantle, Bloodletting. Let's Rage first, Dismantle, Strike. It's not attacking me, but no harm in not using Rage here. That being said, can't get any more block, which is a little unfortunate, but we'll deal. And let's find out what else we do. Metamorphosis, Bloodletting. Yeah, you know what? I don't like I'm not doing damage, so let's finally throw this Vuln Potion and get some damage in. But we're still taking a lot of damage for it. Ow! Brand away the Molten Fist, question mark? We do get to draw a card. Double Taunt, Molten Fist. Yeah, Double Taunt, Molten Fist will brand away Frantic Escape. And hope we escape. We, unfortunately, did not get what I thought we were going to get. Well. Dominate, Pillage, I guess. There's the Frantic Escape. Fiendfire, eats my Fiendfire, eat my Strike. Ow, the 10 damage. My healing! Break Unrelenting. Will I get it again in this encounter? I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. Effective Strike, Unrelenting. Could use Fiendfire, but choosing not to, because I won't defeat it this turn anyway. And unless I don't draw any attack cards, we should get out this turn. Yeah. My HP! Crimson Mantle again, Tear Asunder. Doesn't look like he lost HP this combat. Which, considering that I'm going to be increasing my strength, if I get that after a Dominate setup, would be nice. Now, I have to get the setup working, but would be nice. So, and yeah, seems like we're going to go right up the middle here. Make Cook, remove 2 cards and gain 9 max HP. 1 Whistle, stun the enemy, exhaust. Yeah. Gain extra energy, powers cost 1 more. Or Cook. I would like to actually Cook. So you know what? Gain max HP though, not rest. So, I mean, yeah, debloating, I'm just going to do it. I like cooking. That's literally a big reason why I took it. I shouldn't have done it that way. That being said, hey, look, it's time for AoE damage. We can get rid of 1 immediately, I believe. Yeah, we can. But I'd rather... No, because we block 1 anyway. So, let's get rid of 1 of these. And we'll see if we want to use a potion. This test subject, Act 3. Oh, I'm already in Act 3. I didn't even realize. Anyway, defend Fiendfire, right? Okay, Explosive Ample time. I made a mistake. I shouldn't be using potions in terms of making mistakes, but hey. 20 damage on demand. You know what? Hey. Because essentially it's all the hit counts, if nothing else, we're getting from Terra Sunder, even if we don't get the strength setup built in. Molten Fist Twin Strike. Bloodletting. Bloodletting around 30 cards in our deck. You know, I might actually pick that up. Yeah, let's pick that up. Both the other ones could have been good as well. I don't know. I'm not that much of a veteran to know which one I know I want. Ritual immediately, eh? Or Molten Fist Fiendfire. Molten Fist Fiendfire. Let's get some damage in immediately. La, so 12 damage immediately. I can Crimson Mantle. Would I want to do that? No, I'm gonna Metamorphosis instead. Hopefully we're out next turn, because that's 9 strength that I'd rather not be taking. That's a bit of a problem. Yeah, it's a bit more of a problem now. Terra Sunder doesn't exhaust itself, but the problem I'm having is that we're not dealing enough damage. But we'll see. So, Sword Boomerang instead, Spite first. This was really bad. I should have called it earlier. Wow, Break is way at the end. What's happening to my RNG? I mean, we can't block because none of these are safe for Bloodletting. You know what? We're gonna use it anyway. So we take 14 damage. Please get us out this turn. Break, headbutt into a dismantle, question mark. I shouldn't have picked up Fiendfire, but we're out. That's the whole point. Another Bloodletting, Flame Barrier. Thinking. I'm going to keep the deck as is for the moment. Into a Merchant we go. Iron Wave, Blood Wall, Forgotten Stone, Armor Setup, Strike, Salvo, Impatience. T-set discounts. How many more merchants? Probably one more, really. That would be what it'd be good for. Which, you know what? We'll do it. And we're going to be cooking, or we're going to try to cook. If we don't cook, so be it, but... yeah, enemy into elite. Let's find out. And we are running a vulnerability deck, so if we do run into the mech, we're going to have some problems. So, Crimson Mantle could Fiendfire immediately. Do I want to Fiendfire immediately? Gain 2 strength. You know what? Sure. Actually, no, that won't kill it. No, we're still going to throw this so we can get rid of it, because it's going to block, which means I won't be able to get rid of it next turn if I don't do the damage now. In fact, anything but a strike will get rid of it. And hey, lo and behold, all I got were strikes. So, yeah, sure thing, I guess. Bloodlet, defend, block all of this. These are slowly increasing their strengths, but if we burst them down, we should be fine. I say we proceed to not burst anything down. Bloodletting, pillage. There's the break. Dismantle. Could Metamorphosis, but we're going to taunt instead for vulnerability and block. And Fiendfire, question mark? No. Rage. Terra Sunder, that should, yeah, that definitely does more than one spent Fiendfire on itself. Should have used the strike first. I'm going crazy, but it's fine. Didn't get punished that time. Howl from Beyond. We'll take it because as it turns out, we're drawing a lot more Fiendfires than I expected. Soul Nexus, this is actually the Soul Nexus this time. 29 damage, and all we have are nothing. So, taunt, setup, strike, Molten Fist. And we take 20 damage for this, because all we got afterward were strikes. So, and then we're going to get debuffed with something. Brand, Howl from Beyond, thank you. But right after that, we didn't get much else. Pillage, give me something. Touch of Insanity Break. So that we can Metamorphosis. My goodness, we have no block. Could have used Second Wind for a bit of block, but I don't think that... yeah, we got Weakened and Vulnerability. So it's all up to this turn, and I don't think we have enough damage this turn. Yeah, a bit problematic. We don't get anything. We really didn't get anything. I think we just die here. No! So either burst or block? Question mark? Or I just ran into an elite that I wasn't prepared for, but I'm pretty sure. Would I rather run into the Soul Nexus or the mech? Probably the mech, I think. Huh, I'd have to think. Well, hey, we get some more relics, but that's a small consolation to actually defeating a run. So, cannot lose more than 20 HP. Hey, that sounds familiar. That sounds like a certain elite. Every 5 times you exhaust a card, draw 1. Whenever you rest, procure a random potion. But off we go. Maybe an upgrade instead of a rest would have helped out, but would I have survived after that? Well, without further ado, not really much else to go for. Here's the status. Not really much to look at there. But yeah, we'll use these 20 seconds to do the rest of this end screen. So yeah, have anything to say, any tips, comments, criticism, concerns, all the good stuff, I'll keep trying to do what I do in the meanwhile, but I'm also busy doing other stuff. I know I'm being very vague, but it's because I need to. So, I mean, if nothing else, talking about projects in the future tends to give bad luck for content creators. So without further ado, thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye!